So now we're going to go into the ultimate sandbag, sprinter stance, front squat with the USB in the rack position. So let's just spend a second, sprinter stance. That's really the caveat to this whole movement and what makes this one a little bit unique. Sprinter stance is when you're in this staggered stance. Typically they'll say you want to align this toe with the heel of the front foot. And as far as weight distribution, they say typically you want to do about a 60-40 split. So definitely a little bit more weight is placed here, but it's not like 80-20. What I mean, again, it's close, all right? You want to keep about 60-40 here. The next thing, one of the common things we see here is this back leg, the heel's slightly elevated, but we don't want to get it like this, where they're up here doing a toe raise. It's very common. You'll see people start to let their calves contracting. All we're doing is we want to slightly elevate, because what they've seen with this type of foot positioning, some people are able to sit a little deeper and allows more hip mobility. So they're just able to get deeper in this squat as opposed to a standard square stance bilateral squat. So with this, again, we're just seeing it get in depth, and that's the only thing you're playing around with. I'm going to get my USB, clean it. For this particular variation, we're going to go rack position, and again, just slightly stagger. Drive the knees out as a coach. Coach that up just as you would with any squat. Right? We're trying to get that tibia to rotate. We want to drive that out. As I'm holding in a rack position, I'm gently pulling handles apart so we got lats turned on. Now, this is one we are going to play around with. We want to make sure we keep it a little even. So second set, I would alternate to stance here, because now again, this hip is on extension, this hip is on flexion. So you're not going to keep the same stance for all 3 sets. And then what we typically do is we always will do 3 sets. So I would say in the third set, you can have them go half and half. First 15 seconds with one, and then split for the second. Because there is, again, you're playing with extension, flexion, and hip. So there is some difference between that with the foot position, so you can mix that up. But again, the key with this one, 60-40, 60 weight distributed in the front, 40 here. Don't let that back heel get too high. And as a coach, drive, not moving the feet, drive the knees out, create what they call the sling effect, where they're pulling themselves into their squat. All right, so that's gonna be your sprinter stance, USB, front squat bag, and rack position.